Today's topic is Clausius theorem. According to Clausius theorem, line integral of quantity dq upon t for closed reversible cyclic process vanishes. That is integral dq upon t equal to 0, and this is the integral for closed cyclic process. So according to Clausius theorem, line integral of quantity dq upon t for closed reversible cyclic process vanishes. Integral dq upon t equal to 0 for closed reversible process. Here dq is the heat absorbed by the system at absolute temperature T. To prove this Clausius theorem, we first see this Carnot cycle. Carnot cycle is shown in this figure A. It is a PV diagram, indicator diagram. There are 4 processes in this Carnot cycle, which is a reversible cycle. 4 processes in this reversible Carnot cycle are A, B, B, C, C, D and D, A. First process is AB, and this is isothermal expansion at T1 degree Kelvin. T1 degree is temperature of heat source, and in this process the working substance, that is ideal gas, it absorb Q1 heat. So in the first process AB, which is isothermal expansion at temperature T1 degree Kelvin, working substance absorb heat Q1 from heat source. Second process is BC, and this is adiabatic expansion. In this second process, there is no exchange of heat because it is adiabatic process. Third process is CD. It is isothermal compression at T2 degree Kelvin. T2 degree Kelvin is temperature of sink, that is low temperature. In this process, working substance gives Q2 heat to sink. And last process is DA, that is adiabatic compression. In this process, there is no exchange of heat. So in this reversible Carnot cycle, in the first process, that is AB, that is isothermal expansion, working substance extracts Q1 heat from heat source at T1 degree Kelvin, and in the third process, that is CD, working substance gives heat Q2 to sink at low temperature T2 degree Kelvin. Now we consider any other reversible cyclic process which is shown in this figure P. And if we draw many Carnot cycles as shown in this figure C. Very close Carnot cycles in which temperature difference is very low. Then we can see that all these Carnot cycles are equivalent to this cyclic process, because we can represent each reversible cycle by a group of large number of Carnot cycles made by adjacent Carnot cycle. One isothermal curve is common. We can represent each reversible cycle by a group of large number of Carnot cycle made by combining suitable isothermal and adiabatic curves. In each pair of adjacent Carnot cycle, one isothermal curve is common. If we trace Carnot cycle clockwise, we have to trace each common isothermal curve in one direction and in opposite direction, thus cancelling all common isothermal processes by keeping temperature difference of adjacent isothermal curves infinitesimally small, so that isothermal curves are closely spaced. We can make group of Carnot cycle equivalent to given cycle. This is the given cycle, and these are equivalent large number of Carnot cycles. In Carnot cycles, we choose isothermal and adiabatic curves such that this becomes equivalent to this given curve of figure B. If we trace each Carnot cycle in clockwise direction, we see that one isothermal curve is common in two Carnot cycles, and we trace this isothermal curve in one direction and in opposite directions. So all the isothermal curves inside this cycle cancels each other, and the remaining portion will be equivalent to this closed cyclic process. And for each Carnot cycle, now this is the Carnot cycle, and for this Carnot cycle we know that Q1 upon T1 is equal to Q2 upon T2. Q1 upon Q2 is equal to T1 upon T2 for any Carnot cycle. Here Q1 is heat extracted from the source, Q1 is heat taken by the working substance, and Q2 is the heat given by working substance. If we consider that heat taken as positive and heat given by the substance as negative, then heat Q1 will be positive and heat Q2 will be negative. So we can write Q2 as negative. So from this relation, Q1 upon T1 equal to Q2 upon T2, we can write for a Carnot cycle Q1 upon T1 equal to minus Q2 upon T2, or Q1 upon T1 plus Q2 upon T2 equal to 0. This is for one Carnot cycle. Now we have any cyclic process of this figure B, and this is equivalent to a group of large number of Carnot cycles that is shown in this figure C. So we can write this equation Q1 upon T1 plus Q2 upon T2 equal to 0 as summation Q upon T equal to 0. Summation is for these large number of Carnot cycles which are equivalent to this closed cyclic curve. So for this closed reversible cyclic process, we have summation Q upon T equal to 0. For infinitesimally small temperature difference between two isothermal curves, we can replace summation in this equation by integral. So replacing summation by integral, we can write this equation as integral dq upon t equal to 0. Summation is replaced by integral, and we write in place of q as dq. dq is the small heat taken by the system. dq is the heat absorbed by the system. So integral dq upon t equal to 0, and integral is for a closed reversible process. This is Clausius theorem. The quantity dq upon t inside the integral is important quantity, and it will represent ds, change in entropy. So dq upon t is equal to ds, and integral of dq upon t is 0 according to Clausius theorem.